Welcome back to another episode of Late Entry, hosted as always by RBF Kyle
How we doing, everybody?
and your boy Double Dose. It's the new year, 2026. Thank you guys for keeping it with us. Pause. um, we took a little time off, get ready for the new year. We are close. We're 25 days away from it being an official year of Late Entry. So for everybody still rocking with us, appreciate you guys.
That's
Got a lot of stuff to talk about today. We've had the week of football itself wasn't super eventful. We do have a game from last night we're definitely about to get into. It's also Black Monday, so we've got some coaching firings and some other coaches that did not get fired. Going to talk about those. Going to talk about some interesting tweets I found about the NFL season. Talk about the NFC North versus the NFC South. And then we're going to dive into the playoff picture and some predictions and thoughts moving forward. But last night, Steelers versus Ravens. Now, this was tough for me going into it. Some of you know, some of you don't know. This was a battle of three of my favorite players, not all on the same team. I'm a big Lamar Jackson fan, big Derrick Henry fan. But as we've talked about before, favorite football player of all time, Aaron Rodgers. And so for however long we've got him left, I'm rooting for that man, as long as it wasn't against the Lions.
well,
So this was kind of a grinder. It was a very slow game, and I kind of thought about with an analogy. I feel like watching football games that are low scoring, where it's just kind of running the ball and kicking field goals. It reminds me of baseball, where it's like everybody's not going to be into it, but like the real freaks, the real sickos, that's the game for them. It's like you just want to see the mechanics, you just want to see the fundamentals of this guy blocking this guy or this run here, and it reminds me of baseball, where it's like I just want to see like how the hitter makes contact with the ball and the different pitches and stuff like that. You understand what I'm saying with that? Or?
Yeah, it's kind of, or even like people have made the comparison before, but kind of like chess too, right? You might not always understand every single move or what goes into it, and sometimes it might seem like it's moving really slow, but that slow buildup sometimes makes for an electric fourth quarter, which is exactly what happened too.
Very
gives
true.
Gives you that payoff of sitting there all game waiting, and then just electricity for 15 minutes.
That game, in quarter one, there were 7 points scored. Quarter two, 6 points. Quarter three, 10 points. And then quarter four, there was 27 points scored.
Jesus.
So,
I was going to say, I know it's going to be way more. Holy crap.
Yeah, it was nuts. It was slow. And then, fourth quarter, bombs away. They were trading touchdowns.
I know there's some dudes who bet the under who are sick right now just about that fourth quarter.
Yeah. And then as the Ravens scored the final time, and then they turned the ball back over to Rodgers, I had even tweeted about it. I said, hey, they left too much time for Rodgers. I knew it. But then what I did not anticipate was, and I was talking to Lexi as we're watching it too, I was like, what's going to be tough here is, do you take the touchdown shot when it shows up, or do you keep trying to do small things to kill the clock? And they were killing. They killed like a minute and a half at least off that clock because they got the ball back with 2:20, I believe. Did one play, took it to the 2 minute, and took it down some more. But then when that came open for Calvin Austin, he took that boy in there, and I was like, oh, now Lamar's got some time left.
Yeah, now we might have left too much time for the other guy.
And they had all three timeouts. The Steelers had none. And I was like, oh, this is scary. And then here comes Boswell out here to miss his second extra point in 2 years. I was like, no way. Because I was thinking before, like, look, they get it. Worst case scenario, they kick a field goal. We go to overtime. Now a field goal wins it. And I was in deep devastation. I was depressed, dog. I was just... It wasn't a good time for me at all.
You were calling for his job real quick.
I had tweeted, I said, Boswell needs to be under investigation. Somebody's shaving points, dog. I was so sick. I couldn't believe it. And so I'm like, well, the defense is got to do it, and it's not going to happen probably because with this new kickoff rules, it's hard to not give up that field goal. And then here comes Keaton Mitchell flying down the field, huge return. I was like, well, this is
Mm-hmm.
damn near over with. Steelers defense holds them down and gets the fourth down. And I was like, I'm surprised they're not kicking it. They're going to go for it. Huge conversion to Isaiah Likely.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of which, Mark Andrews, who they just extended, I feel like he was a non-factor last night. I don't remember hearing his name called at all.
He caught one, I think, but one or two passes. But I mean, yeah, he's kind of been, yeah, slowly but surely. Like I'm surprised he signed an extension, to be honest.
Surprised that they signed him to an extension.
Well, yes, yeah.
Yeah. So then they have that huge conversion, and what's crazy too is I was telling Lexi, I was like, what's tough, especially as a fan of both of these quarterbacks, is you never want the game to end with the quarterback having the ball in his hands and not getting the job done. So it's like it's tough that, one of these situations is probably going to be that someone doesn't convert what they need to, and it's going to be bad. Like this came down to it felt like an Aaron Rodgers legacy drive followed up by a Lamar Jackson legacy drive. And both quarterbacks got the job done, and their kickers. When they converted that fourth down, if you looked up and saw the face that Aaron Rodgers was making on the bench, I felt the exact same way. I was just like, this is it. Yep. And, we don't know if we went into the game knowing that it feels like whichever team loses this, their organization might blow it up. And it can start from anywhere. On the Ravens side, this could mean the end of John Harbaugh with the Ravens. Mm-hmm. On the Steelers side, this could mean the end of Tomlin and the end of Aaron Rodgers there. They might blow that whole thing up. And everyone's been speculating too. I think Rodgers was on a 2-year deal, I thought. I'm not sure.
I think you're right. Yep.
But a lot of people were speculating, like, is this the last game that we're going to see from him if they lose? And I was just sitting there like, this is going to be such a painful end to one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time if this is his last year. And one of the greatest coaches of all time, and Tomlin. I'm not saying the greatest, but one of the greatest coaches. And Tyler Luke bails Boswell out, dog. He bails us out. Bro, I was in shock. I was sitting, I don't think I moved for like a full 2 minutes. I was just sitting down. I was like,
I know.
Like,
bro.
No way. Like, I could not believe, bro, to the fact that a kicker got bailed out by another kicker. And I was just thinking, all I could think about the whole time was just the numerous times that Rodgers was let down. I flashed back into 2015 against the Cardinals, where Rodgers threw that crazy touchdown just to get into overtime for Larry Fitzgerald to kill them in overtime immediately. I'm thinking about the NFC Championship game against the Niners. Raheem Mostert is just slicing up the defense. I'm thinking of all the times that Rodgers did what he was supposed to do, and it didn't matter because another part of the team let him down. And this time it was the kicker. I was on an extra point.
Yeah.
Right. And do you remember, like, a few months ago I'd made that joke about how, like, if a kicker misses a kick, they should be able to just take them out back and put them down?
Yeah.
And the people in the comments were like, hey, it's a good thing we got Boswell. He never misses.
He's
I was just all of these things I was thinking about last night. And then here comes Mike Tirico. Yeah. Right. Here comes Mike Tirico talking about, hey, they traveled all over the country. They talked to a lot of different kickers. They had to, make sure that he was the guy for moments like this. And then, bro, missed it. It never looked like it was going in. That boy went, woo!
No, yeah, it was terrible. Hadn't missed from inside 50 all year, by the way. Hadn't missed from inside the 50 or inside 50.
The Ravens snatched defeat from the jaws of victory.
Yes, they did. So that's kind of been their whole year. That's their whole year. I mean, just think about, was it week 1 against the Bills where they were up by 15 with like 6 minutes left, and the Bills ended up winning by 1, 41-40. Like, that's been the Ravens' year. And yeah, I mean, we're gonna get to coaches that have been fired and coaches staying, but man, that seat has never been hotter for Johnny Harbaugh, in my opinion. I mean, you've got one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and yeah, he was hurt part of this year, but it's like every time he misses a couple games, like the Ravens just fall apart. I get it. We built it, like you guys built a team around him, but A really good coach is going to, find a way to get a couple wins without. And they did this year with Snoop. He did a lot better at backup than I think last year. Kind of managing games a lot better. Felt like they had a hand in more games later in the season. But yeah, that the way they started the season and then just all the bad luck they had. This is very similar to what our boys went through here in Detroit. So I'm feeling for them on their ride home, but I mean, I'm happy for my co-host here, I guess. Happy you got what you wanted. I
Dog.
gotta say, the fall off of DeAndre Hopkins is crazy. I forgot that man existed, and then he had a wide open field behind him, and Lamar tried to like lead him on a little, and dude just stood there and let the ball go flying over his head, and I'm like, man, what happened to you, bro? What happened to you?
Is old.
I know.
I mean, you saw old stuff happen on both sides. There was a situation, and even the announcer had made a comment about it. I was thinking it the whole time. Rodgers was running to his right, and if this was 5-10 years ago, Aaron Rodgers, that's a first down. He got to the line of scrimmage and tried to juke him out, went nowhere, and got no gain on that. And I was like, man, I was watching that. I was like, oh my gosh, that hurts.
He's
It
old.
hurts to. It hurts to see. I mean, same thing. I'm a big LeBron fan. Just seeing LeBron now, some of the stuff. It hurts to see players that were great and now are playing at an older age, and all you know still as a fan is how good they used to be. You see something happen, you're like, oh, the player I know would have done this with this, and instead I see this. It's a tough pill to swallow.
Yeah, it is.
And not to bring up somebody else from a different show, but Shannon Sharp has talked about that a lot of times too, about like great players don't get compared to other players; they get compared to younger versions of themselves.
Mm-hmm. I think most often, yeah.
Yep.
That's. I mean, that's what else are you gonna do though? You kind of have to at the same time, right? Like, because you got to put the best product out there. If Matthew Stafford wasn't slinging it this good, he wouldn't still be the starting quarterback for the Rams. Like, yeah. But like even he says like he can't throw it quite as far as he used to. Like he said he used to be able to put like 70 air yards on it, and he said he doesn't think he's quite got that anymore. But he doesn't really push it anymore either because it's like, why bother? Devontae will
Yeah.
be open by 40 yards downfield anyways, so or 2-2.
Yeah, I'm with that's true. All I know is that despite the improbable, my man is still alive,
He's
and
alive.
I'm very happy for that.
And if they get a
And
playoff win, I think he's going to decide to stay around. I really do. Maybe one more year to keep training Will Howard up. A little bit more. I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know. It's that post game with him. He just looked so like he looked like an old man reflecting his life.
Mm.
Like I feel like you
He's
could
looked
see
like that
so
in
much
all
of
of
like
his. At the end of the seasons, like, he does that every time. It feels like though, like he gets so philosophical and emotional, and which is understandable. But
but I mean I've followed him for years, you know what I mean? And it's like you've seen such like a cocky Aaron Rodgers for most of his career, and now it's just like it's such an older feeling, and just have seen him looking around after like the last, and he had mentioned it too, like in his interview, he was talking about like how the last 2 years have not been good. Like obviously he was hurt for one of them, and then last season they missed the playoffs. Like I think for him to get back to the playoffs and see all the cheers and the chants, and to know that he's going into the playoffs again, like he could really be taking this all in as this is the last run. Like I'm out here with a bunch of duct tape. We got Adam Thielen, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, Scotty Miller. Like, you know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
Like this could be the last ride of just like, hey, everybody, we're all Mike Tomlin, all these veterans just trying to see what we can do for this one more. It feels very much like a last dance type of a situation. I really hope it's not. And what scares the hell out of me is their first matchup is they don't have an easy path at all. Their first matchup is against Houston, Houston's defense. And, I was looking at that going into it last night, thinking about the fact that the Ravens probably have a better chance of beating Houston than the Steelers do. With the Ravens just being able
Yeah.
to just pound that defense with Derrick Henry.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing, too, thank God the Steelers are going to have DK Metcalf back. you could tell so much that they needed him last night.
Yeah, they
That
did.
they absolutely did. But what's the thing about Rodgers is where I think that he could still keep playing is the fact that he's so cerebral, he's so smart. You could tell, and they used to talk about this with Tom Brady all the time. Of like, Tom would go into a game and know exactly what kind of game this is. Okay, this is going to be a low scoring game. Points are going to come at a premium. We need to keep the ball safe, not turn it over, make smart plays.
Right.
We'll either make the right play or we'll punt it away and trust our defense. Rodgers did that last night. There was no bad situation because one turnover last night would have changed the entire game. Last night was a blow for blow the entire way, and really it almost came down to a missed kick, which
Hmm.
from Boswell it did come out to a missed kick from Tyler Loop, but it was so close. You can't afford to turn the ball over, and Rodgers doesn't ever turn the ball over like that. He's a very smart thrower. But you can see like against what was it, the Browns when they played before, he got down into he had that game winning drive that then got to the red zone and stuttered out. 4 straight shots into the end zone, could not get it done. And now last night, it worked out. Calvin Austin came up huge, but they need DK Metcalf back. And so luckily they'll have him back going against Houston. But the Houston's defense is no joke. And I feel like a lot of Jalen Warren and Kenneth Gainwell, I feel like they're not bruisers as it pertains to their running. I feel like they're like
Yeah.
outside runs, screen passes,
Hmm.
stuff like that, little dump offs. I don't know how well
Which
it's going to work
Houston's
against.
amazing at stopping.
Yeah, the only thing about Houston, and we're going to talk about the playoffs later, so I don't want to get too far into this. The only thing about Houston is that their offense is not that good either, and so it's
True.
just like two good defenses. Which offense can get a few points up on the board? Probably
Hmm.
going to be very similar to last night,
Yeah, I would say so.
but I mean, the defense for the Steelers, they got kind of exposed last night. The Ravens, bro, Zay Flowers got loose twice. Once on Jalen Ramsey,
Hmm.
and the other one I forgot who it was that second time. But yeah, he got big time loose where he got over the top, and no one was up there with him. So
Yep.
I
Gonna have to
don't.
fix that.
I'm hoping that Nico Collins doesn't do that to us or Higgins or yeah.
Yeah, we'll
Um,
see. They get it. At least it's at home. At least they get to be the home team for this against that good of a defense. Make them play outside. Make them get in your elements. So they advantage them on that part. But yeah, it's going to be a very tough matchup for them to get just through that first game.
and then they get Well,
And
we'll spin the block back to this when we
yeah,
talk
yeah,
about
yeah.
the playoff picture.
Yep.
Did you have any other thoughts on this game?
No, I'm good.
I'm just excited. I'm
Congrats.
excited to see my man make the
Yep.
playoffs again.
You still got something to believe in. I'm happy for you.
Hey, dog, look, I mean, all that's left, what's crazy is the fact that I think most people, including myself, believe that the Packers are going to lose their first round, which means that the only thing that I have left in this playoff run is my two childhood heroes,
Your two
and Matt
childhood
Stafford and
quarterbacks.
Aaron. Yep, Matt Stafford, Aaron Rodgers. That's what I got left to root for right now.
Yep.
Um, it's crazy too. Just to touch on something else from yesterday before we move into the coaches. 2 weeks ago, Chicago and the Niners played each other, and it was like 40. They were both in the 40s, bombs away the whole time. I forgot what the final score was, but they were both in the 40s. Yesterday they played, and not each other, but they had a combined score of 19 points. That's crazy. That's crazy. They both had the water turned off on them, the electricity. They didn't pay their bills. They had nothing coming into that house.
That's the tale of two.
Um,
Yeah, tale of two Sundays right there.
no,
That's a
that's
huge
crazy.
drop off, and 16 of those were the Bears too. We mentioned before the show, like the Niners got
Yeah.
held to 3 points against the Seahawks. Man, that
Hey,
defense is no joke.
I told you guys a long time ago, several months back. I said I think the Seahawks are going to the NFC Championship, and they won the number one seed. So that prediction's looking really good right now.
Hmm. Yep,
Um,
pat
didn't
yourself on
you
the
had
back
some
some more.
you had something on the Niners, right?
Yeah, I'm bringing back an old segment. The real OG late entry fans will know. Uh, we're going back to based or bullshit. Um, let me find it here. All right. So I heard shout out to the Press Release podcast, just another one of us, just another small podcast trying to make it out here. Um, one of the guys kind of came up with a suggestion as to what the Niners and the Bengals should do in terms of a trade. So he said, and here, like, yeah, let me know what you think here, Double Dose. Based or bullshit, the 49ers should offer the Bengals Brock Purdy and a few first rounders for Joe Burrow. I want to ask you, as a person who has been publicly known as the Purdy non-believer, I want to know your thoughts on this. So let's say 2 first-round picks, Purdy.
That'd be a stupid trade for the Niners or for the Bengals.
You think that'd be stupid for the Bengals?
Yeah, that's bullshit. a Joe Burrow is a quarterback that comes around not very often. They need to be worried about getting him some offensive line help. But the reason that they have a chance to win any game that they're ever in is because Joe Burrow's out here doing magic with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and whoever else needs to get the ball at that time. It's almost never because of the defense. And having Brock Purdy could probably make some of those throws, but it would hamper their offense. I think it'd be a terrible decision. What do you think?
I also think it's bullshit. I don't think it would be as like. I agree with you that the Bengals' problem isn't quarterback. Their problem is O-line. So like, they're not going to solve it. If you're the 49ers, I guess, yeah, okay, go get Joe Burrow and go get your quote unquote guy. But to me, I don't think either one of these teams would want to do that personally. Like, I think, yeah, sure. Would Kyle Shanahan be interested in having Joe Burrow? Yeah, probably. But like, for what it's going to cost him to do it, I don't think he'd want to do that.
I don't think it benefits. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I basically, yeah, I don't think either side benefits too much from it. I don't know. I guess the 49ers benefit having like a better quarterback than Brock, but I don't know. I don't think your record changes that much just because Joe Burrow versus Brock Purdy, and you lose like building for your future too. So I get it if you're in a win now mentality, but to me, it just doesn't make sense on either side.
No, it's dumb because, and this is not a defense of Brock Purdy. This is just a production evaluation. With Brock Purdy as quarterback, they had Brock Purdy get injured in the NFC Championship. The following year, they went to the Super Bowl. And then this year, they won games with Mac Jones. Getting Joe Burrow is not needed for the 49ers. Brock Purdy does everything that they need him to do. And if they don't have Brock Purdy, just plug Mac Jones in and get very similar production from that. Yep. Getting Joe Burrow doesn't lift the ceiling that much higher.
Right.
But the Bengals nosedive with a trade like that. Mm-hmm. So I don't see where that makes it. Giving up that many firsts doesn't make any sense for the Niners. And then, yeah, the Bengals, it makes no sense to do that, even getting the firsts.
To get rid of Joe Burrow. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people all over the internet that want to see him and Jamar Chase somewhere else together, and it's like, dude, there's a phrase there for beggars can't be choosers or whatever. There's a phrase I'm missing here, but yeah, it is what it is. He's gonna have a Stafford-like career in this first half. I think he's just gonna be not his fault, but it's just gonna be a disappointing career because his organization doesn't want to take care of him, and it's one of the worst organizations in the entire league.
Yep. Real quick too, something I'm gonna bring up. It's going back to the last game real fast. We're talking about two things. One's a tweet from Esquire Anthony 1. Rodgers walked them down in 60 seconds flat with no timeouts, throwing to Marcus Valdes-Scantling and Adam Thielen.
That's pretty crazy.
Fucking goat. The other thing is too, I don't want to hear, because I'm seeing lots of slander about Lamar Jackson. This shit was not Lamar Jackson's fault. If people come out here today and say anything about how this impacts Lamar Jackson with, the game was on the line and he didn't get it done, he did everything he had to do. He got the ball back. Like I said, they were both quarterbacks did everything they had to do to get this done, and it came down to the missed kicks. Lamar got that ball back, got them down the field, converted on fourth down, got them into field goal range. My man had 238 pass yards, 3 touchdowns. His only interception was one of those batted ball bullshit kind of things. That shit was not Lamar's fault. So if it, he's not the one who missed the field goal. So people need to fucking relax.
Yeah. Yeah, people are
Um,
talking about his future with and his future with the Ravens, whatever. But like, yeah, don't slander. Like he did not have a bad season when he was healthy at all.
um, Other thing too, I got some breaking news in here. I'm getting from Sham Sharanya. Not I. I'm just. It's not what Sham's calling
Dang.
me.
Talk
No,
about the
no,
most
no,
famous person in your phone, huh?
no, no. It's a tweet, but to summarize, basically, the Hawks and Trey Young and his agent are working on a trade to get
Oh,
him separated from the Falcons or from the Hawks. I'm sorry,
yeah.
the Atlanta Hawks. Yeah.
Dang,
So, yeah. Off the
good
top
for
of your
him,
head, where
honestly.
would you want to see him go?
I don't know who needs a point guard right now. Um, Top of my head, just because they need any kind of star power they can get next to him. Give me the Pacers. Let him play with Halliburton once he's back.
Okay.
How
Um,
about you?
I mean, obviously, my mind has to think about what who says no. Austin Reeves for Trey Young.
You'd be cool with that?
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. My biggest thing is motherfuckers got to start planning for the future. Brian is damn near on his way out. So who do you want Luca's number 2 to be? They're going to have to. Austin Reeves after this year is going to get a fat bag. Are the
Hmm.
Lakers going to give it to him, or would they rather give it to Trey Young? I can't make a decision on that at this current moment, but that's something that I think the Lakers front office, Rob Pelinka, I'm sure is thinking about that right now.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I'm
Like
sure.
I'm sure that he is thinking about that right now.
He's like,
Like, who do I want Luca's number 2 to be? But I think that Reeves, I guess in my opinion, Reeves and Luca work so well together. They've got really good chemistry. I'd
hmm
rather not mess with that by introducing a Trey Young, who I think would have to restart that chemistry with Luca all over again. Luca's so
100%.
ball dominant, and somehow he and Reeves have figured that out. Where Trey,
Hmm.
being a point guard and another star, and who's been a star, he's not like an up and comer like a Reeves, where Reeves is cool deferring. Obviously, if you're Trey Young, you know that you got to defer to Luca, but you know that's what I'm thinking about.
Yeah, and then all of them might be too many cooks in the kitchen. Yeah.
Well, there's no way it gets done without Reeves.
You think okay? You think there's no way all three of them end up as Lakers?
No, I don't think
Mm.
so. I mean, I saw in a comment off that tweet like, "Gabe Vincent, pack your bags," but like, I don't think that the fucking the Hawks are gonna make that deal.
No.
Um, I'm not sure what their cap looks like, but who might need a player like that might be the Clippers actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What's their record right now? Are they
Oh,
doing
I don't
okay?
know.
Or
No,
yeah,
they've
you
been
couldn't tell me.
ass.
Oh,
They've been
okay.
ass. That's part of why Chris Paul got sent home because he was telling them they were ass.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh yeah.
Yeah. We'll have to revisit this on maybe on Wednesday when we've got some time to think about what the options are. Off the top of my
Yeah.
head, I don't have all 30 teams up here thinking about a trade for that, but
Yeah. That's
um,
interesting though. Good, honestly, good for him. He's been tied down there for too long.
yeah, I mean they've done some decent stuff up there. His Trey Young's career has had such an interesting ups and downs. Like
Hmm.
he was the villain of New York. Do you remember that? The Julius Randle New York, when Julius Randle built or like brought them all the way back from irrelevance
Oh yeah.
and got
Wow.
them into the playoffs. And then they played the Hawks and Trey Young went up there and sent them home
Hmm.
and blew him that kiss goodbye and and he was the whole villain. New York hated this man. And now he's been pretty irrelevant the last few years after that.
Yeah, he has. Yeah, he kind of fell off. He's got a really good jumper. Um, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see. He's only 27. I looked that up. I wasn't sure how old he is, so he's definitely could have some good years of ball left in him.
Yep. Um. All right. Back to where we were at. So we did the fuck that trade. Fuck that trade
Yep.
for
I
let's
wanted to
move
see
over.
if you were enough of a non-believer to just say, do it, go for it.
Nah, I'm a big Burrow fan too.
No, I know you are.
So
That's why I thought that would be a fun one. But
yeah.
what are we on to? Fired
Um
coaches?
Fired coaches. So we've got so far Pete Carroll with the Raiders fired. Jonathan Gannon with the Cardinals fired.
You're
Kevin
fired.
Stefanski Kevin Stefanski with the Browns fired. And Raheem Morris fired as well. Before we get into our thoughts on these, I just want to give you guys some information on some of these. Um, for Pete Carroll with the Raiders, this is his first year there. The Raiders, this is according to MLF Football on Twitter. The Raiders will be spending $50 million on coaches that are fired next year. Antonio Pierce, $8 million. Josh McDaniels, $10 million. John Gruden, $10 million. Pete Carroll, $16 million. Chip Kelly, $6 million.
Holy crap. They're still paying Chip Kelly?
Chip
They're still
Kelly was
paying
the
Gruden?
Chip Kelly was part of Pete Carroll's staff this year.
Was he really?
Yeah. When was McDaniels there?
Oh. McDaniels was the coach before Pierce.
Okay.
Gruden was before that.
Yeah.
I
So
thought
these guys,
I was thinking of somebody else. I can't remember who I was thinking of. A former college guy that went to the Raiders and came back to college, but not
if
Chip
this is
Kelly.
a lie, MLF football told it. I'm just telling you what I trying to find this other tweet. Okay. As it pertains to Raheem Morris, too, the Falcons were eliminated from the playoffs on December 7th and finished tied for first for their division.
Okay, sorry, one more time.
The Falcons were eliminated from the playoffs December 7th, and they finished tied for first in their division.
That's insane.
We're going to get into a little bit about that when we comes to the NFC North versus the South, but
That's some
that's the
big
coach in Raheem
contest.
Morris that just got fired. So, Pete, Gannon, Stefanski, Raheem Morris, what you think about these?
Um, Gannon makes sense. It was time to go. It's been 3 seasons now, I think we said, um, and they haven't shown a lick of getting any better. So, and he's a defensive coach. Their defense was trash. Um, yeah, so that one, I mean, he just kind of makes sense to me that it was time. Um, Pete Carroll felt a little quick. Like one season didn't feel like enough, especially given, the history of the kind of coach that he's been, and the caliber of coach that he's been. I would think he'd get at least 2 years to go and kind of build a team. But the Raiders are heading in a new direction yet again. $50 million is an astronomical number to be paying fired coaches in one season. That's insane. Um, so the Patriots just basically don't have to pay McDaniels to be their OC. He just gets enough of a bag from the Raiders, and the Patriots get a free freaking employee. That's pretty cool. Um, but yeah, I mean that franchise is something else as well. Maybe the GOAT will fix it, but we'll see about that. Raheem Morris, I think this one's a head scratcher to me. I know Toph, our residential Falcons fan of the show, he wasn't too high on this guy by any means. Is not crying in a corner that he was fired, but to me, I think he could have been given one more year as well. And I mean, he's never really known who his quarterback was. The GMs went and picked a second quarterback, and who knows how much of a hand he played in that pick. And Penix and then Kirk Cousins, just started playing bad, got kicked to the backup role, and Penix gets hurt, and you still find a way to go 500 or around 500. Um, yeah, I think giving him one more year would have been the right call, but I get it. It's the nature of the league, and it's what goes on nowadays. If you can't start winning for us, you got to go. And
Toph
then
actually has
Kevin,
a quote. Toph actually has a quote about him. He said, "Did not hold players accountable, made no kinds of adjustments. He needed to go."
there you go. All right. I don't know who he wasn't holding accountable, but Toph clearly knows something that we don't. Um, yeah, Stefanski, as a newfound Browns fan, this I think was the right call for our franchise. And I think it was time. He had 6 seasons. He had a couple good ones in there, but for the most part, there were some stinkers. Joe Flacco really saved his job a little bit. I think I don't know. He got Coach of the Year twice in those 6 years, which is just crazy to me that like a Browns coach gets Coach of the Year twice, and they maybe got one playoff win in that whole time, maybe two playoff wins that whole time. I know that they don't give you that award based on playoff record, but yeah, just interesting to me. I'm excited for Shador, my QB2 in the league. I think he's gonna do well under a new coach. Hopefully, somebody very offensive minded. Yeah, I don't know where they're gonna go with this one, who they're gonna hire, and I definitely don't trust the Browns to make the right call in this situation. But we'll see. Pushing for Shador, and I mean, you got the NFL all-time sack leader on your team now too. So you any coach should want to coach this young group. I think kind of turn this franchise around. So I think weirdly enough, it's an admirable job. Maybe I would say between that and Atlanta, it's the most admirable as far as what you have in personnel right now.
Yeah. Yeah, before I go, you brought it up too. Congratulations to Miles Garrett on breaking the sack record. I was
Shout out
very
Joe Burrow.
happy. I thought that for sure that I know we talked about this a few weeks ago, like that we thought for sure he would do it this season. It's
Hmm.
funny he broke it the same way that Strahan did. Joe Burrow kind of fell down on for him on that one. Um, it's crazy getting that against a division opponent too.
Hmm.
Um, but it's funny. There's a clip that was circulating yesterday of Joe Burrow talking about Miles Garrett. I think before the season, he was talking about how a lot of players try to like come in and kill him, and Miles Garrett isn't like ever super rough with him. He'll get his sack with him, but he doesn't ever try to like destroy him. So I wonder if
That's
that kind of
hilarious.
gave him the hey, I'm probably going down anyways. Let me just go ahead and give this up rather than take an unnecessary hit and
Yeah,
get hurt again this
right.
season to end the season off. Let me just go ahead and give this up. But he's
Yeah,
probably happy for Miles that he got it too.
I would think so. Yeah, and Joe's the type of guy that like Aaron Rodgers did not want that record to be broken against him, right? And they've put their whole game plan around it. Joe Burrow is not that guy. He is gonna go to the media and be like, "Well, yeah, congrats to Miles," and then like flip his hair back again and go
Yeah.
next question. Um, but yeah, so
Yeah.
yeah, and like you said, did he take a spill a little bit for sure? But it was a business decision at the end of the day. He could have kept running, and 95 might have ankle tripped him, or like one of the other linemen might have snagged him up. But it was a business decision at the end of the day. So I'm happy for Miles. I think it was time to move on. I'm a little sad that it happened that way. I kind of wanted him to break it in this like this awesome fashion, but Strahan like a big hit
Strahan didn't do it either.
but right, Strahan didn't do it either, and he's already up there talking about how he did it in one less game. So whatever, like everyone's gonna hate. At the end of the day, it was a hell of a season by Miles.
Yep, and Strahan brings up a point. People talked about that too with the potential last season of Saquon breaking the all-time rushing record. So it's like if you have one more game to do this, how do we compare these stats? And
Right.
Strahan even mentioned it yesterday. Is like we used to have 15 game seasons. You can't compare that to the 16 to the 17 to the 8. Like yeah. So all we know is that Miles Garrett's going to be up there. His name is going to say sack leader. So congratulations to Miles Garrett.
Hell yeah.
And especially congratulations to him too because, and I think Strahan may have said this. Someone said this yesterday. I'm not trying to plagiarize them, but basically you're on a team that's not winning very much, and you're the one that's being constantly, the game plan on offense for the line is to stop one player,
Right.
and your defense is probably consistently out there because your offense is terrible. So throughout all of this, you still had the internal motivation for you to not give up and to go chase this record. And in the middle of a terrible season, where I had a terrible record, and still go out there and I'm going to do my part and I'm going to go break a record on a terrible team. So extra shout
True.
out to you, Myles Garrett. That's very impressive.
Very true.
As far as these coaches go, it's kind of one thing in common that I think is it's tough for all of these coaches. And I'm going to add one more back into here. We have Pete Carroll, Jonathan Gannon, Kevin Stefanski, Raheem Morris. I'm going to add back into here too Brian Daboll. You know what they all had in common? Quarterback uncertainty.
Mm-hmm.
And they got fired for it, all of them. I said before that I thought that the Brian Daboll thing seemed unfair because you lost everybody. You lost Neighbors. You lost Cam Scadaboo. You're out here trying to play games with Russell Wilson, who's not doing well. You put in Jackson Dart. Jackson Dart's winning games. They beat the Eagles with just Jackson Dart as a rookie.
Mm-hmm.
I think that you deserve the time to give him a full year. Give him a year of all in together. Let's give him next year. Let's see Jackson Dart. Let's see Neighbors. Let's see Scadaboo together and see what they can accomplish before you just up and get rid of Daboll, who also, like you mentioned, talking about Coach of the Year, Daboll won Coach of the Year like 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's crazy. I forgot who it was. There was a coach, I can't remember who it was, that got fired 1 year after winning Coach of the Year. I think it was last year or the year before. It's a tough league.
That's terrible.
Pete Carroll, there's only two things I can think of as to why he's gone. And it's not the record, although that was terrible. 4-13, ass. Like, y'all are terrible. It's just unfortunate to see someone with his pedigree who's won at a college level and a NFL level, has so much success, gets 1 year and fired. I can only think of two reasons this would happen. Reason one is that Pete Carroll went in there, and these are speculations, but that Pete Carroll went in there and said, Geno Smith is my guy. I need Geno Smith here. Made them trade for Geno Smith. Geno Smith played terribly. And then they said, okay, well, this is your guy. This is your responsibility. Y'all are both done. That's thought number one. Thought number two is the fact that there's rumors Tom Brady wants a Patriots Way reunion with the Raiders. And they're saying that Brian Flores is the head coach, Brian Daboll as the offensive coordinator. That would go hard.
That would go insane.
Yep, that would go really well. But that could make sense too. So you saw the same thing happen in New England where, you had Gerard Mayo as the coach for one season, and then they got him out of there because they wanted to get their guy, Mike Vrabel, in there instead. And that worked out really well for the Patriots and for Vrabel. It was very unfortunate it happened at the cost of a Gerard Mayo, who really only got one season with the rookie to see what was going to happen. But usually that happens to someone lower tier like a Gerard Mayo, not someone of the caliber of a Pete Carroll.
Pete Carroll.
So, yeah, very surprising that you'd bring someone like that in with his resume to only give him 1 year, although it was a complete disaster. Jonathan Gannon, I think that I saw that he was 15-36 for his record the whole time he was there. Awful. I think they lost like 14 of their final games this season. Also awful. And their defense was terrible, and he's a defensive coach like you mentioned before. So all indicators that he's got to go. It's just unfortunate that they had so many injuries. He had Jacoby Brissett out there balling. You had Michael Wilson catching passes for Brissett, balling out, becoming the star in the making. Mm-hmm. Marvin Harrison Jr. plays half a game every other week. That's how it felt. You know what I mean? So you try to overcome all of these different things as the head coach. It's really tough. I feel like he never had really good footing to ever really build anything over there. Kevin Stefanski, another situation like that. You had, I think, 2 years of Baker, and then after that, ownership makes the decision to bring in Deshaun Watson. That's a complete, utter failure. One of the worst decisions in any sports history. So that went absolutely terrible. And then he was piecing it together. He's out there playing Jameis Winston, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, Joe Flacco. That all went horribly, horribly wrong. And then this year, you finally draft two rookies to try to see what they can do. You give Flacco, part of the time. Then Dylan Gabriel gets some time, gets hurt. Finally, you got to play Shador Sanders. What did y'all expect from ownership? What did you expect that Kevin Stefanski was going to do? That's what I want to know. Like, and that's what kills me about some of these moves is like, what were you expecting with what they were given? How did you expect that this was going to go any other way? And the thing that maybe for Stefanski is the fact that, it seems like a lot of people thought that he didn't want to play Shador and that Shador was clearly better than Dylan Gabriel, which, hey,
Mm-hmm.
look, the GM and ownership, I think, makes that draft decision that's probably above Stefanski to take a Dylan Gabriel. So now Stefanski did some dumb things, like he kept taking the ball out of Shador's hands and they got to the red zone and stuff like that. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe it was stuff like that. It just feels like with all of the success that he's had with nobody at quarterback over the last 5 years, it seems like this is a weird year to fire him at, and it seems like he's probably going to be a coach that people are going to want. Lastly, Raheem Morris. This makes the least amount of sense to me. He had 2 years there. In his 2 years, they had Kirk Cousins, who played most of the last season. Then at the end of the season, you are like, all right, we're going to give it to our rookie. We're going to let him try to play Michael Penix Jr. Defense playing very well this season at stretches. Then you come out here, you've got Penix Jr. playing as basically a redshirt rookie this whole season, gets injured, and now you've got Kirk Cousins back in and playing to finish the season out. So you've got over the course of 2 years a veteran quarterback and a rookie, and that's what your season's been attached to the whole time. Once
Mm-hmm.
again, what did you expect? And the team played hard for them. After the last game, Drake London and Bijan both came out and said, "We want him to come back. We want him to be our coach." I just don't know what else you could have expected. And like we said earlier, they finished tied for their division for first place. They just lost the wrong games. One of them
Mm-hmm.
being to the Jets. That was a bad loss. And I don't know. It seems like there was too many flashes of good there to call it quits so early in. And I think that part of what makes successful franchises is the not having instability. When you
Mm-hmm.
look at a Baltimore, when you look at a Steelers, you look at I'm trying to think of some of the other long
Chiefs.
tenured places. If you look at our coach over here, Dan Campbell with the Lions, his first season was terrible, absolute disaster. Season number two, they went what 9-8, Kyle?
Yep.
8-9, was it 9-8 or 8-9?
It was 9-8 second season. Beat the
Okay,
Packers, kept the Packers out of the playoffs.
Raheem Morris just went 8-9. That's one game off. Once again, tied for first in their division. It just feels like maybe you need to give some people some time to develop stuff over there, especially when the quarterback situation is so uncertain too. Without a good QB, nothing's going to happen. And so with most of these coaches, what did you expect? That's really what I want to know. And with a coach like Kevin Stefanski, I feel like he was someone that you could prove that had proven that he could get some wins without even having a real quarterback over there. So the whole thing makes no sense to me. Something interesting to think about too is I'd be on the lookout to see if either Kevin Stefanski or Clint Kubiak winds up being the next coach of the Falcons. That seems
Mm.
to me like it would be the most premier of all of these jobs. The Raiders, the Giants, the Cardinals, the Browns, or the Falcons. I'd want to be the Falcons coach. Getting there, we'll figure out. We got Kirk Cousins. We've got 2 more years of Kirk Cousins on contract. We've got a recovering Penix. We've got Drake London and Bijan and Kyle Pitts. If they keep Kyle Pitts, I think Pitts' contract may be up. But that's where I'd want to be if I was looking for a job.
Yeah, me too. They definitely take the cake. I think Shador is kind of spices it up over there for in Cleveland. If you're a good offensive minded coach, like Clint Kubiak, that might be something you want to go and explore. But yeah, I mean, I think Falcons is definitely the most admirable and the most ready to win team for any coach right now. Out of these four for sure.
Oh, I forgot about the Titans too. Titans. have an opinion as well. They fired their coach. Another situation of now Cam Ward is a good quarterback. That's just a terrible team. They need a
Mm-hmm.
lot of pieces in a lot of areas. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They're
that's
I don't even think about them ever. They've got no receivers. They've got kind of bummy running backs. Terrible defense. They're they need a lot of help.
they need a lot of
Um,
help. They are very bad.
Now, if we go over to coaches that are still have their jobs as of right now, um, I'm very thankful that they followed through on their word over with the Jets and said that we're going to give Aaron Glenn the time because this year one was not going to go
Mm-hmm.
well. The Jets finished the season without having a
A single
without
interception, right?
yes, yes, that's exactly what I was going to say, and that is the first time since 1933 that that has ever happened.
That's
They were
insane.
horrifically bad. But they also traded Sauce, they traded Quinn Williams, and they were already a bad team to begin with. So that's
Yeah, we'll
wild.
see. He's got to start getting it done. They can't be one of the worst teams in the league next year, and him expect him to keep his own job. You know, he's gonna have to flip it around, get some wins on the column.
But they have the number 2 pick. So they're going to be able to get a quarterback. Mendoza or the, what is it, Dante something?
Yeah, who's he for?
I can't remember.
Then there's Ty
That's the
Simpson too from Alabama. People like
true.
him.
Um, Man, I still, the Falcons played so hard down the stretch. Won their final 7 games, I think it was, with nothing to play for other than trying to keep their coach's job, and they still fired him.
Yep.
That rubs me the wrong way so badly. Um, Another team that played hard for their coach down the stretch, McDaniels. I mean, their quarterback situation is just terrible with Tua over there. I know Tua said that he'd be open to. He said they asked him if he like a change of scenery would be nice. He said that'd be dope. I'd be open to it. Like, yeah, bro, you need to. He's
You
for
need
sure.
something else.
I can't imagine that he's going to get a starting job. He's got to probably get a backup job and
Yep.
hope that he stays in the league because this season was so bad for the way that he looked. It was disgusting and terrible. Todd Bowles, as of right now, still has his job, and he had come out here. He said this is according to NFL Stroud, but it's a video though. Bucks coach Todd Bowles has not met yet with the Glazer family about his future, but said, I've earned the chance. I've won 3 straight division titles, so that says a lot as far as I'm concerned. Which is true, although it's a terrible division that is slowly
Mm-hmm.
getting better around you. But he also had a lot of injuries. Mike Evans was hurt, Chris Godwin was hurt, Jalen McMillan was hurt. And then when you get them all back, they did win the game to try to keep their playoff hopes alive, but the Saints couldn't get the win for them because the Falcons won on Sunday.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
um,
That is crazy.
what any thoughts about those 3 from you?
No, nothing to add. You nailed it. Zach Taylor is another one I think is kind of on the fence.
Oh, that's a motherfucker that should be fired.
Yeah, he should be gone. He needs to be gone. It's insane that he's not. Um, Another one to me that I don't understand. Uh, Not a coach, but the Giants have just agreed to keep their GM on for 2026, and sure, he's made a couple good picks with Jackson Dart and Scat, but like he's also the guy that gave up Saquon, that signed Daniel Jones, and that's like caused all of this hell for you guys. That and none of those, none of that's worked out in your favor. So to me, I would have thought get a whole new refresh in there. This Joe guy made himself look like a fool. Joe Shank or Shank, whatever. He made himself look like a fool when he was on the Hard Knocks, the offseason Hard Knocks, and obviously, it's it hasn't aged well either for him. So since then, so to me, it's insane that he still has a job. I know it's not a coach, but he should not be a GM in this league anymore.
I mean, he did draft Scat and Jackson Dart.
But he also signed Daniel Jones and got rid of Saquon, who are both balling out for different teams now.
Yeah, we talked about this, I think, earlier in the season when Dayball got fired. Like, I feel like he's done enough now to hang on to it and see what happens the next year or 2 years. He doesn't have
I
long to
guess.
prove one way or another, but it's like if they were going to fire Dayball and the GM, it should have been done before this season started. With this season going the way that it has, I would have kept both of them personally.
Yeah. No, me
Um,
too. But if you're gonna get rid of one, I think you got to get rid of both. Like you've already made the decision to drop Dayball, and this it's
going
not
back,
like I don't know. It's not like this guy's made good decisions at I mean, he's made some, but it's not like he's been outstanding at GM. So
real quick, going back to the Jets thing without the interception. Um, Joey Knish is that, I don't know if I should say his name. Um, his tweet says, "No hyperbole. Anyone reading this tweet, I don't think we'll ever see this again in our entire lives." In 1933, which is the last time that there was not an interception from a defense, the NFL passing leader had 973 yards. It is legitimately unbelievable this happened in the modern era. 973 yards from the passing leader. People now
holy
are throwing
crap.
for like 4,000, 3,000,
Mm-hmm.
several
He
thousand
couldn't grab
more than
one
this.
ball.
Yes. That's
Oh wow.
insane. Someone said they couldn't even pick off Trubisky.
I mean,
Or
yeah.
Tua.
Or Tua. Shit.
Oh my
And
gosh.
that's twice on Tua, right? Yeah, they're same division.
Hey, Aaron
Yeah.
Glenn got to get it together next year. I know
Yeah,
that
he
he's
does.
working with nothing, but that's
If you're a
oh
defensive
god.
coach and you were a defensive back in the league and you have no interceptions to show for this,
Hey,
yeah,
he
that's
needs some
crazy.
help though.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, I don't know what they're
Um,
gonna do, but they got to make a lot of offseason moves.
yeah, man, that's nuts. Um, here's some other tweets that I wanted to share about how the season went. Um, Garrett Wilson hasn't caught a pass since October 12th. He finished as the team's leading receiver.
Oh wow. Oh no, bro.
He hasn't caught a pass since October 12th. It's December. Oh, well, it's January. Sorry, it's January.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean, what week? That's basically like week 6, 8, somewhere in there. I skipped it on purpose there. Um, yeah, I don't. That's half the season, if not more.
Yep, that's insane. The Texans finally escaped their their time slot for the wild card. For 8 of their last 8, they have always played at 4:30 p.m. Eastern on Saturday, and they are finally not playing that now. I
Oh
think they're
really?
playing what Monday. I think they're playing Monday.
Are they really? No way.
Um, Let me. I've got
I
it
think
here. Hold
there's.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah, Monday at 8 p.m.
Oh okay.
But for the last 8, they've always played at 4:30 on Saturday. That was their slot, so they finally made it out of that.
Got to prime time
Um,
too. Nice.
yep. So because they're playing, probably because they're playing against the Steelers.
Yeah,
Aaron,
they're playing
Aaron
against
Rodgers
A-Rod.
got them out of that slot.
Yep. More reasons to be thankful for Aaron Rodgers, right?
We're gonna talk about the NFC North versus South in a second, but the this is the second time since 1935 a division has all 4 teams finished with a winning record. 1935.
Wow, that's a long time. That I can't believe the Vikings did it. To be honest, out of all those teams, the way their season was looking there for a while,
Kevin
I can't
Stefanski,
believe
the
they get
GOAT.
to 9-8. So we
Um,
took last in our division.
if you are, yeah, yes, we did.
That
If you're ever
sucks.
sad about your franchise, though, it could always be worse. You could always be the Miami Dolphins. Let me read you 2 of these tweets. Los Talks Pats. The New England Patriots had the greatest quarterback of all time, won 6 Super Bowls, bottomed out for multiple seasons, drafted another superstar quarterback, and reclaimed the AFC East, all before the Miami Dolphins won a playoff game.
That's insane.
Oronde
Holy
Gadsden.
crap.
This is from Cody K303. Oronde Gadsden was on the last Dolphins team to win a playoff game in 2000. The man had a son, raised him, got him to the league, all before the Dolphins won another playoff game.
Oh, Gadsden for the Chargers. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yep. The
That's
Dolphins
insane.
suck.
And didn't they get hit with the tampering thing trying to get Tom Brady? They were trying to
I think there
trade
was
for
something
Tom
with that.
Brady. And
Yeah,
yeah. So oh man, that's just and then you had the guy doing drugs in the office at the facility. Man, that's poor Dolphins.
Dolphins are poverty, dog.
Yeah,
But
that's depressing.
let's get into this last segment before we look at the playoffs moving forward. So we've got the NFC North versus the NFC South. You will find no greater differentiator between how two divisions can go. The NFC North, like I said, just had every team in their division finish with their winning record. Chicago had 11 wins. Green Bay, Minnesota, and Detroit all finished with 9 wins. And everybody thought that Matt LaFleur was crazy for taking that tie earlier in the season. That's why they got into the playoffs, because they had 7 losses in a tie, and Minnesota and Detroit both had 8 losses. Juxtapose that to the NFC South. Carolina, Tampa, and Atlanta all had 8 wins and 9 losses, and New Orleans had 6 wins and 11 losses. So Detroit, Minnesota, and Green Bay all had one more win than all three tied for first in the NFC South. This has drawn a lot of people to talk about if you win in your division should still get you into the playoffs, and if they should get rid of that and just send the best 7 from the AFC and the best 7 from the NFC. What do you think?
I think it's tough. We were talking about it a little in the pre-show, and there's a part of me that wants to say yes, do that. Like make it top 7 records on NFC and AFC each get in, see where it goes. Uh, but the way that the schedules are built and how short of a sample size we have, or small of a sample size we have with a short season, it's hard to switch up the way that it's been going for so long. And I mean, it is kind of a cool thing of the NFL that the Panthers, yeah, well, we neither one of us think they're getting out of the first game. I mean, they still have a shot to win a Super Bowl after going 8-9, you know. And I mean, as I don't know if I'm a Panthers fan, am I happy like that we just got a shot and we squeaked in, or am I just like mad we're here, mad like I don't know, like I guess I'm happy and hoping for wins still, but like I'm probably not that hopeful in the grand scheme of things for a big playoff run. Um, yeah, it's a very I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. I guess my knee jerk reaction is yes. I think that the top 7 teams should be in no matter what. I get it that takes out the division winner thing, but and makes scheduling that much harder probably on the league. But I don't know. It does suck when your team. I mean, yeah, like what like I don't think it happened, but what if you're 10-7 and your team doesn't get in, like I don't think that happened this year, but it could. And then you have another conference like that where yeah, they're 8-9 or 7-10 even, like sometimes, like so I mean I think there was some 7-9 teams back when it was a 16 game schedule, but I don't think there's been any 7-win teams since it's been 17. But yeah, I don't know. Winning less than half your games and getting a playoff spot kind of sucks to me. But also, if they pull off a Cinderella run, I think that'd be hilarious and awesome at the same time. I don't think it's going to happen, but it'd be fun. It'd
Yeah,
be fun for the sport, fun for the viewership.
I I feel like sports is where you get the most like old conservative takes from me. Like I am absolutely opposed to them getting rid of that. I feel like winning your
All right,
division
Grandpa.
means something. Winning your division back in my day, you won your
Yeah.
division, you got into the playoffs, and you
Why
got
don't
a
you sit?
home game.
Why don't you sit down? I'll put some Fox News on for you. Hold on.
Hey, look, every team has a chance to go out there and win as many games as possible, and you just got to do that. Look, last year the the Vikings had a chance to get the first seed. They played the Lions for it in week, what was it, 18?
Yeah.
Lost, and they had to drop down to the 5 seed or whatever it is. It is what it is, dog. You have to win the games. And look, my team's the team that's sitting home right now. You know what I mean? The Lions. The Lions have one more win than the Panthers do when they're home. And I'm not mad at that. You know why? Because the Lions had plenty of chances to go out there and not lose. They didn't have to lose to the Steelers. They didn't have to lose to the backup quarterback, the third string quarterback for the Vikings on Christmas. We got swept by the Vikings, who are also home. Like, it's the divisions exist for a reason. And as long as they do,
I agree with that.
I feel like you got to get it. Look, you win your division, you get in. And then you have the chance to be blown out at home by a team that has 4 more wins than you. That's what you earned the right to do. Like, you know what I mean? That's how it goes.
Yeah.
That's how that goes. And
That's
so
just
then
not a good product, though.
okay,
Like,
so here's the other thing.
The
Carolina, and we can transition this topic into the playoff picture. Carolina is the team that we're talking about. They are 8-9. Their first matchup is against the 12-5 Rams.
Yep.
They beat the Rams in the regular season.
Right.
Any given Sunday exists for a reason. Like you said, Cinderella runs can happen. So it's like, and I said this probably like 5 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago, 7. I said that if Carolina gets in there, they have the possibility of ruining somebody's day. I don't think that they're going to win the Super Bowl, but they could definitely get in there and just absolutely ruin someone's day. And it wouldn't surprise me if it was the Rams. And lo and behold, they wind up playing the Rams week 1. And if they go out, if I had to put money on one of the two teams, it would obviously be the Rams. Who do I want to win? The Rams. But if the Panthers come out there and beat the Rams, I'm not going to be the most surprised person in the world. That wouldn't even be a large upset in my mind. So
because everything is so close. Yeah. I mean, that's how it is in the NFL. Everybody is that good, and it can happen like that. Yeah, no, I hear you. And like I said, like, I'm on the fence about it. I'm not sold on it, but it does suck. Even if it's not your team, it sucks that there's teams that have a better record that are just chilling at home. But good point that those teams had opportunities to beat their division rival when they didn't, or beat a team that they should have beaten and they didn't, and so, yeah, I mean, who can you blame but yourselves at the end of the day? And I know there's no Lions fans at home, or Lions players at home right now, like, oh, like, we should have got in instead of the Panthers. Like, they know that they squandered their own opportunity, multiple times this season. So
yeah, like you said, you've got the chance you have your own destiny in your hands at the beginning of every season to go out there and win your own division. And if you don't win those games, it's your fault, and you have to suffer the consequences. Here's the other thing to this argument, though, too. The Lions wouldn't even be the team that would make it in. Do you know who would make it in? The Vikings.
Yeah.
And who do you think has a better chance of taking out the Rams? Carolina or the Vikings?
Carolina. Yeah.
By far. Over third string Max Brosmer? Yeah. Well, I'm just saying that the whole NFC, that's the next up.
Right. No, I get what you're saying. Yeah. Like, I mean, to me, the Vikings probably didn't beat a team even close to as good as the Rams, and the Panthers beat the Rams. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at this playoff bracket, though. So I've got this up in front of us. Kind of go through and look at the way that some of these work out. Let's start by saying that I'm so happy for Sam Darnold. The man has really, nothing's been given to him. He's earned everything and taken everything that he's gotten, from being cast out of New York to bouncing around to becoming the backup that got thrust into starting for the Vikings, to then play, as I just mentioned, week 18 against the Lions for the number 1 seed and losing it, to then getting bounced by the Rams week 1. Now you are with the Seahawks, and you play, and you got the chance to get that division title, and you win it. So now you get the number 1 seed, step up from last year. And now you've already beaten the Rams en route to get there. And then the way that this bracket is set up if the Rams, what makes me sad is that I wanted to see Seahawks and Rams in the NFC Championship. But Carolina and the Rams play, the winner plays the Seahawks. If it's the Rams, who would be the favored team, the Seahawks would have to go through the Rams to get to the NFC Championship, which would probably be their hardest matchup in the NFC. Maybe their hardest matchup total, depending on who comes out of the AFC. Sam Darnold's got the chance to slay all his demons, every single one of them, en road to a Super Bowl. Can they get it done? I don't know. But he has already overcome so much and changed so much of the narratives of several years ago, last year, and now this year. So he's got a hell of a shot to really come out here and put everything bad that's ever happened in his career behind him en route to a Super Bowl.
True, yeah. He's the second edition of a former Jets quarterback that never worked out, bounced around the league, and then got to Seattle and got him to the playoffs. That's what Geno did. Geno started with the Jets, bounced around the league, ends up in Seattle, and gets a starting job. Now this is the revamped, better version of Geno, younger version. Yeah, I mean, they did a good job by picking him up. There was the right team to do it. They have a team around him to where, kind of similar to Purdy, he's got to do his job. He's got to play well still for them to win, but he doesn't have to always be this insane force multiplier or, put the team on his back type of guy. He's just got to make the right throws, put the ball in the right places, and take care of it.
And to have to go through the Rams and the Niners to get to that number 1 seed, that's very impressive. And they destroyed the Niners. They beat the brakes off of them. So you're looking at across this division, and you're like, who really has the best shot at taking them out? The Rams, and that's really it. I mean, I feel like if we look at the rest of these matchups, right? So we look at the other side of the bracket, Niners and Eagles. That's going to be very interesting. That's another grudge match. They've got some history going back to that NFC Championship before where Purdy got knocked out. You got Christian McCaffrey playing quarterback. This is going to be crazy. This is a game where I feel like I couldn't pick a winner of. Either of these teams could win because I don't have faith in either one of them. The Niners have patched it together to come this far, just got embarrassed by the Seahawks. So it's like, but the Eagles have also, they just keep winning. They don't look good, but they keep getting it done.
Yep.
Who would you have more faith in this matchup?
That's a tough one. I suppose defense wins games. I'm going to go with the Eagles. I think their defense is more secured. And I think it's going to be a low-scoring affair. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, San Fran plays really well in the postseason, though, and Shanahan coaches his best games. So I also don't really want to pick a winner here. I think whoever wins that is going to win the next one, though. I think whoever wins that game goes to the NFC Championship, personally.
Really?
Yeah, I think they beat the Bears.
See, that's where I don't necessarily know if I agree with you. I think as much as I love the Packers, big Packers fan, that's my team number 2. Got so much love for them. And I'm happy that they're in it. But they're so beaten up. Jordan Love is going to be coming off an injury to play his first game in 3 or 4 weeks. Micah Parsons is out. They've got a safety out, a corner out. I think maybe a lineman out. They're just so beat up. And I would love for them to come out here and knock the Bears out and bring me all the happiness in the world, but I don't think it's going to happen. And if the Bears beat the Packers, I think they could definitely beat either one of those teams that come out of that matchup. They've already beaten the Eagles in the regular season, and they just went toe-to-toe to the last play of the game with the Niners before. And you remember that happened with when they played the Packers earlier in the season. They went toe-to-toe the whole game. Last game comes down to Caleb Williams rolling to his right, trying to throw into the end zone, throws a pick. Mm-hmm. They play him a week or two later. Same thing happens again, except for they wind up hitting that crazy touchdown to go to overtime and then wrap it up real quick in overtime. So seeing the Bears twice in 2 weeks is not necessarily a good formula for a team.
True.
So the Niners could fall to them or the Eagles could. I'm seeing a situation here where if the Bears wind up in the NFC Championship, that does not surprise me at all. Bears versus Seahawks would be my prediction for the NFC Championship at this point.
That's fair. I Yeah, I don't know, man. I gotta hand it to the experience, but that's kind of why I said that. Like of the two teams in the middle matchup there on the NFC side, they both have a lot more playoff experience. If they're going to be battle tested going into that Chicago game, I don't think Chicago is going to be battle tested going into that game, and so therefore, like I just don't think that they're going to be big enough for the moment just yet. And I'm not going to lie to you, I'm kind of hoping that's what happens too. There's some emotion dragged into that for sure. I don't want to see Ben Johnson in another NFC championship. Not yet anyways. But yeah, I don't know. That's a tough one. I guess I'm going to go. Let me go Seahawks and Niners NFC championship prediction. Why not?
Okay. Let's jump over to the AFC side of it. So we've got things jumping out to me right away. You've got an insanely hot 13-4 Jacksonville team matched up against 12-5 Buffalo team. One of the worst teams I think that Josh Allen has had. Oh, I mean, obviously I like Josh Allen as a quarterback better than I like Trevor Lawrence, but it's a team game. I'm scared. I'm scared for Josh. And if he gets bounced by Trevor Lawrence in Jacksonville, it's going to be some very uncomfortable conversations going around about Josh. In reality, this should be his easiest path to get to the Super Bowl. Mahomes is finally out.
Mm-hmm.
To get to the AFC Championship, he would have to beat Jacksonville and Denver. Now,
I've said before, Jacksonville and he has to beat Jacksonville. Is it Jacksonville and Denver? I thought it was Jacksonville and then New England.
No, it's Denver. New England would play the winner of Houston and Pittsburgh.
That's not what my bracket's showing.
Well, where's get your bum ass bracket from? I'm on the NFL website. Buster.
I guess I got to go to the one you sent me. Sorry, go ahead.
This man on Temu looking for his fucking bracket.
Wow. Every bracket I'm looking at is showing that the winner of the Broncos or the winner of the Houston Texans and Steelers game plays Denver.
No, dog. Think about it. Denver is number 1. New England is number 2. 1 and 2 are always apart on the bracket. Jacksonville is 3, which means they're on the same side as number 1.
Yeah. No. 4 and 5 would be on the same side as 1. Look at the
they
other
are.
side, bro.
Bro, what? I'm on the NFL website looking at this bracket. What website are you on?
NFL.
So
Bleacher Report. I don't know, bro. You're crazy. But sorry, go ahead with your wrong prediction.
So your bracket is lined up the same way on the NFC side, though, right?
Yeah, where it goes Rams, Carolina face the Seahawks.
Yeah. Rams and Carolina are 4 and 5. Oh, what the fuck?
Uh-huh. Yeah. Gaslight me some more, Daddy. Come on.
Yo, did the NFL put out a bum ass? Yo, wait a second. Wait a second. What?
I'll wait.
Yo,
I expect my apology in the mail.
No, I'm sorry, bro.
No, I'm kidding.
The NFL put out a bad bracket. They
Did
sure
they
do.
really?
Yes, I'm on the NFL website right now. And it's got, bro, what the fuck?
That's hilarious. Hey, NFL, do better. Come on.
Yo!
You're ruining our podcast episode. Making us fight.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah. Okay, so can you tell me what's the correct one then?
So Buffalo, if they beat Jacksonville, they have to face the winner of New England and the Chargers to get to the AFC Championship.
Oh, okay. So then what? It's Pittsburgh, Houston versus Denver?
Yep.
Oh my God. So that means if Aaron Rodgers is able to take this all the way, that means that he's going to have to go through the 2 hardest defenses maybe in the NFL.
Literally. Yeah.
Between Pittsburgh and
3
Denver.
of them. Well, yeah. He might have to go through Denver. He might have to go through New England, and he might have to go through the Seahawks.
Oh, yeah. I was just, yes. Yeah. What the hell?
Because New England's defense is good, too.
Yeah. I was thinking of Texans and then.
Oh, Texans. True.
Well, Texans and Texans and then Denver.
Right,
That's just
right.
right. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so all four could be insane. Like
So
that's
then it's Buffalo versus Jacksonville. If Buffalo wins, they play New England. I think that
yep.
they could beat New England, but playing Jacksonville is going to be nasty.
Mm-hmm. You
I am excited
hey,
to see. Go
you
ahead.
don't trust in Justin Herbert?
No, that was exactly what I was going to say. It's going to be some more uncomfortable conversations there too. We've either got the potential of, hey, Spencer's been right for the whole season, saying that New England was not built for this moment, or what's more likely, considering they're playing the Chargers, and the Chargers have been on a terrible slide. The Chargers are
Mm-hmm.
basically like the Packers of the AFC. Like they won a lot
Yeah.
of games early, and then they've been beat up, and they've just been losing. Like they've just
Yep.
been losing.
They just hung
Um,
on because other teams did worse.
exactly. The last team that the Packers beat was the Bears.
Oh my gosh. That's
Yes,
hilarious.
the
That's
last team
hilarious. And that's
that the Bears beat
five.
was the Packers. But yeah,
Oh
that was
my
like
god.
5 weeks ago. Yeah. So I think that the Chargers will probably be up out of there immediately. And then we'll be talking about if man again.
Yep.
Um I just don't think that they can I don't think that they've got a defense that can hang on. And then their offensive line is very bad with no Joe
It's
Alt.
just band-aids, yeah.
And then yeah, this wrong bracket is throwing me off so badly. I'm having to like recalculate every time I look at it.
So
So
funny.
then New England will play the winner of Buffalo versus Jacksonville.
Yep.
New England really might make a run.
I agree.
I think New England could beat Jacksonville, but I don't know if they could beat Buffalo. Buffalo could
That's
lose to
fair.
Jacksonville, but I think could beat New England. So
Did they go 1-1 against each other this year, Buffalo and New England?
yes, they did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
tough.
I think that we're probably looking at oh my god, Denver's got such an easy schedule.
I know,
Denver
right?
Denver and Houston are like the same team. Shitty offenses that just kind of push the ball down the field, get the little field goals out the way, and have good defense.
Yeah, their quarterback was just healthy and played more consistent this year.
And
That was really
and
the big
Pittsburgh
difference.
is like the same thing too. All three of them are just boring as fuck. They
Yeah,
really are.
that is going to be a boring half of the bracket to watch. That's for
Oh my
sure.
god. I'm taking probably give me oh man. I really want Rodgers and I really want Josh Allen. But
Oh, that'd be
if you
crazy.
went gun to my head, give me Denver versus New England talk AFC
I
Championship.
know it's so boring, but I'm thinking the same thing.
I hate
Like
it so much. I hate
I
it so much.
yeah, just to be fun, I'm going to go Buffalo and Denver in the AFC Championship just cuz I know Buffalo, I mean any of these teams have a shot outside of the 7 seeds. I think, but yeah, any given Sunday for a reason, and Josh Allen's been fighting his ass off to get to this. I don't know. It's definitely once again it's an emotional wish, but let me go Buffalo and Denver.
I gave you my thought about Chicago being able to make a run in the NFC. Most likely team that is kind of counted out that could make a run in the AFC, I would say, is Jacksonville. Jacksonville
Yeah,
cinched
I
their way
agree.
into the AFC Championship. It wouldn't surprise me.
No, I agree. I want. Yeah, I mean, I want to root for them, but it's like, yeah, I love Josh Allen as a quarterback, and I want him to get this monkey off his back. You know.
Yep. He and Justin Herbert have a lot weighing down on them. Obviously,
Could you
Rodgers too, just
imagine?
with his age, but he doesn't have to win a Super
Yeah.
Bowl to prove anything.
No, he's Hall of Famer for sure. I mean, they
Yeah.
all are probably, at least Josh and him. And Herbert's on his way. I really think that, but got to see some
Uh,
postseason action. Got to see some postseason action.
yeah. All right. That's all we've got for you today on this episode of Late Entry. Tap in with us on Wednesday at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central for the live episode. We will see
Happy New
you
Year,
back
y'all.
then. Happy New Year and happy
Peace.
NFL playoffs.
Yes,
Peace.
sir.